guys, my name is Meg Odize Adeshino. Welcome to Girls, Girls, Girls on ATV Africa. Today we'll be talking about the dangers of youthful exuberance. With me on set today are two beautiful ladies. On my right,
Mo.
And on my left,
Faith.
You're all welcome.
Thank you.
Today we are talking about a very interesting topic, youthful exuberance. The dangers, the ills, the vices, the causes, and all. Then we can classify the youths of today from the ages of 15 to 25.
Yeah.
Exuberance means an excessive attitude or actions towards a particular thing. I would like to have your views on this topic more.
All right. For me, youthful exuberance is that phase youths are expected to get through, because whatever it is, I will want to relate this with a child who is about to make efforts in taking her baby steps. That means you have to crawl. That phase is there, you stumble at a point. So it's a level of excitement you get yourself, or you find yourself as a youth, which is totally not wrong. But it is when these things are actually abused, that's why it becomes, when it is excessive, that is when it becomes an abuse.
Okay.
You get, so it has its dangers and the negative sides to it. So from my part.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you?
Youthful exuberance basically is a point of enthusiasm that youth get to, a point in their lives where they get overly enthusiastic, high-spirited, boisterous, and all that stuff. Well, that in itself is actually inevitable, obviously, because like you said, life is in phases, and it's a phase that you'll definitely get to. But like you said also, it's when it's excessive, quote unquote, that it becomes a problem, where you get to a point where you don't control that excitement, that you start getting to search for this means of satisfaction.
So what ways do you think we can curb this attitude?
I think before we start talking about how to really curb such attitude, we need to really dig into what the various attitudes, because we need to know what the problem is on the table before we know how to actually curb such issues. When you see, for instance, let me give a practical example. Drinking, for instance. Drinking is good, beautiful, but when it is excess, it becomes an abuse. You get. So lifestyle for us as for individuals as youth, it's normal, okay, but when it's now becoming excessive, then it brings about other vices attached to it.
Exactly.
For instance, smoking. Some people feel, from where most of these habits are actually attracted from, it was as a result of the weather, right? But now it's a norm, it's a lifestyle. You see people do it day in, day out. You see people go outside taking tobacco, weed, and all that sort. Yes. So, and most of those things actually have their own side effects to it. You become a nuisance to the society, and that's what it is.
Yeah, you know, this at this point in time in our lives, like in this age, there's this social media frenzy, things you pick up from the internet. You know, like someone once told me that there is nothing wrong with technology and the media. It's what you do with it that determines if it's wrong or not. So, you know, many times people are exposed to these things, both the good and the
And the
bad.
bad.
And when they are not taught what the bad is, the bad becomes good. As we have today, where bad is now the new normal and normal stuff.
Thank
Like you
you.
said, ideally smoking, even though there are other means to get warm during the cold weather, some people find smoking to be one of the means to get warm, which is not exactly bad in itself. But nowadays, I mean, Nigeria is even
Even the hot weather.
exactly, like everybody
Yeah.
just starts picking and pick up a cigarette, a lighter, and now they even try to brand smoking, tell you things like shisha and all that
Yeah.
stuff,
Okay.
pineapple flavor.
And all that. Then you even talk about another area we even need to look at, especially, I don't want to be gender selective,
Yeah.
quite alright. Now, even for girls, right now, sex is normal. Do you get it? It is, if I have to throw back, way back before our parents, as in during our parents' time, it's so shameful for you to come out and talk about sex.
Sex, yes.
Like it is you cannot confidently come out to talk about it. You can't go to a pharmacy to pick up a condom. But today
Yeah.
it is,
It's
wow,
everywhere.
it has to be on the table. We have to talk about it.
Exactly.
Quite alright. So it's becoming, like she said, it's becoming a norm, a lifestyle, a culture where abnormality is becoming normal. I think it's an issue. I'm actually afraid for the next generation.
Honestly,
That's the
like
truth.
yeah, like she said, sex, we can talk about sex openly outside the confines of marriage as it should be. But
No, but I don't think anything is wrong in that. Like there has to be a certain age in the life of every child. You need to talk about sex education. So
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong in you talking about.
obviously, there's nothing wrong in you talking about sex education as it's but not that you should now like be bringing your sexual life publicly. They're like, that's your personal thing.
To deal with
for
it.
the sake of children who are on these platforms, you just, it's a personal thing, so keep it to yourself. You don't come around and talk about your sexual getaway with your lover or whoever it is you're doing that with.
Okay,
Of course.
I'll give a very practical example. Recently, I'm sure we all heard about the Babcock sex.
Yes.
Yeah, the video.
All right, it was actually in the open, and everybody, I heard a whole lot, and in my head I was like, what is really happening to us? People were like, why we should be expelled? She's meant to be left in school. It's her life, it's a private life. Oh my God! So you would want to give her applaud for actually doing this, and it's out in the open. Quite alright. Now, on the second note, or the second end of this, Babcock is a name. There's integrity in everybody's name. Okay?
That's
If it was her private life, definitely Babcock should not be brought into the
it.
media.
Yes.
If that name is as strong, it's a business, it's a household name, and there is nobody that would want their name to be tarnished,
yes,
and
right.
you just sit down and cross your leg and
do
you
nothing
feel
about
you
it.
don't want to do anything about it. And from where we're coming from, our journey as Africans, we were, even before Christianity came on board, it was more of us embracing morality. Morality was a push, it was a drive. You get, you could not even way back still and be applauded. There are different ways to handle people who even still way back then. You can't even come to public and say you're not a virgin. It wasn't accepted then.
It was really
Yeah, but now it's as if it has gotten very worse. The decadence is really
like
there.
someone
Yes,
to like,
very
even
bad.
if you as a girl are a virgin, you can't come out and say I am. They'll look at you like, who is this greenhorn? Like inexperienced, that kind of stuff. Like they expect that at this age you should be doing certain stuff. When some guys walk up to you and be telling you some stuff like, at this age I expect that you should be, having sex and all, and you even like, okay, but then they'll look like who is this? Just come on,
Goodness.
like this girl, So it's just quite sad, honestly. It's just quite sad that the society we find ourselves in today.
Quite sad. So, what are the things you suggest that the society can do in curbing these excesses?
Okay. So far so good. I would still, laws are in place just to make sure people are put in check.
What kind of laws?
Okay, first of all, let's use gay. For instance, it's not acceptable in Nigeria. If you're caught, I know it's life imprisonment. Yeah, life imprisonment. Now, it will take us to the area of freedom. You get? Because I sat down, I felt, oh, we're all free to do whatever we want. But in a society where there are no laws to check, definitely it's going to be abnormal, it's going to be disorganized, it's going to be
anarchy.
Yes, it's just going to be out of control.
Yes.
Quite all right.
Yeah.
I think for now we should try as much as possible. The society should try as much as possible not to applaud or encourage such acts, because we see right now. Okay, let's look at this internet fraud. Yeah, the internet fraud right now. It's the best way to make money right now. Going to school is a waste of time.
Exactly.
That's the way it is. That is the way it is. That means it's all about what you bring to the table, not how you get to the table.
Yeah,
you get. So by the time you get, nobody cares. As long as the money is coming, we're spending it. The society is actually applauding it. Now let me go back to. I'm from Edo State, by the way. And we have an adage. It's not the duty of the parents alone to bring up a child. It takes the partnership of both the community, the society, the environment, and that of the parents to bring up a child. That means if I am living a particular life and I am not embraced or encouraged or applauded by the community, definitely I'll have to put myself in check. I know. I think the society has. I think laws are meant to be put in place to put us in check. Parents, they have to go extra mile to do what is meant to be done.
Exactly.
Irrespective of how old you are. My dad will always tell you, as long as you're under my roof, if you like, be taller than me, trust me, you have to be binded by the rules in this house. And most parents don't see there's a need. They don't feel there's a need. Oh, she's old enough to make that decision, and from there it results to high dino and all.
Like they say, charity begins
at home.
So I feel like what the society can do in this regard as a child, it starts with the home, where the child comes from. I mean, parents have a primary responsibility in raising up a child. And like someone once told me, the best way to raise up a child is by example. I mean, it's not just telling the child what to do, it's showing the child what to do. Tell your child, don't wear short skirts, don't indulge in pornography, but do you as a parent indulge in pornography? Do you wear indecent dresses? Indecent in the sense of the word indecent. So pretty much parents should ensure to work on themselves as parents, being good examples to the children, because largely what a child will pick up from the parents are more of the things they see the parents do
than what they
hear them do. Like growing up now, I grew up in a Catholic family, right? My mom, church. My dad too, church. And my older sister too, she was like this ardent Christian, and that's what really formed me. I mean, I watched them do these things. It's not just them telling me pray. They pray. I watched them pray. I watched them do these things, And also, parents should try to develop a relationship with their children. This African setting is just in a way that where the father is like the king and the children are like subject, like no relationship. The parents should try to develop a relationship with their children, so the children will be free to tell them stuff, like to be able to open up to your parents and say, Mom, look at what happened, Mom, see, that kind of things. Like when your child goes to school, it's not just about going to school and coming home with first position and
that's
results and paperwork. It's about that education you get. Ask them like, how was school today? Your friends at school, who are they? Let me know, because man is a product of influence. It's the things that they relate with, the things that you associate with that actually influences you, So try to indulge your children. Try to know the kind of people they relate with in school. Try to know how well they are faring in their school, Even going to church, do you follow up on them after church? Do you teach them? Do you explain to them what they learned?
Sorry for cutting you. I still have an issue with I like the part where you said it's all about parents laying down those sets of examples. This is what you see, that's how you follow it. But there are cases where the parents are doing perfectly well.
Yeah.
The kids are wayward.
Wayward, opposite.
Yeah.
They are kind of wayward. And at that point, are we not beginning to ask ourselves the question that, oh, it's the parents, did they not do it right? So all these things actually drive. Yes, all these things
they want to know. You have to let them know.
Yeah,
exactly.
All these things drives to a point whereby you already know something boiling up. If you don't give those children, if you don't give your kids,
outside,
they'll go outside to learn it,
and from the wrong places.
From the wrong places, and they will accept because you have been you've lost that position of actually giving them answers. Because as a child, what I would do is I want to trust my parents first. Because first of all, I have that relationship with them, and yes, I have that level of trust with them. So if at the long run you keep shelving me away, and I am still curious, and I can't help it, I can't hide it, I'll definitely go out to do that. Yeah. Sometimes go out with your kids and see what they're doing. Let them be free. Allow them to express themselves. Then allow them to make the mistakes, which is part of the journey. So it is when they make these mistakes that you know what, this is not how it is done. You get
it this way.
I know of a mother who actually once in a while she goes out with her son to a bar and the other for beer. What she does that, by the time he gets into the point, he's like, no, I think that's done.
That's okay.
You get, he makes the child understand, okay, drinking is actually okay, but not wrong, excessive. Not excess.
To a point of inebriation,
that's the point. So.
How do you transform a wild exuberance in a child into something worthy of acceptance?
Okay, first of all, it's you need to learn to study your child. Some people don't even know what your child can do. You don't tend to observe that child. It's the first step. Even as the child is growing, when I talk about getting that phase of being a youth, you need to study them. It's not about just constantly asking them questions. Unconsciously, they will do some things and you will notice. If I keep doing something 2, 3, 4, 5 times, there's something wrong. You sit that child down and you talk about it. Now, how do you bring it to the table? The manner. If you have to correct me and you do it in a very annoying manner, it's not going to sink into my head. That's the truth. It's not the like of going about to spank. I think we're going to come to that end of it. Spanking children, how effective has that been to us as youths per se? So I think this parents are expected to put these things on the table, know the right means to actually inject corrections into their children.
I think that would be okay if you have a very good cordial relationship with your children.
That's what you talk to them.
That relationship should be very let them to be free with you so they can freely tell you stuff. I mean, like I have a friend who, like, she and her mom are like 5 and 6. They're so close. Her mom is into everything she does. Her schooling, her friends, her relationship, and that really helps because they open up to you more. Of course, when a relationship is there, they open up to you more. They tell you stuff, and that way you can easily come into their life and direct them easily. So just let them be free with you. So by having that relationship, you can easily impute an impact in their life.
Then another thing is you need to start such attitude when right from childhood, because it gets to a point that because of the fear you've always injected,
Yeah.
it will be so hard to get off.
For them to open
It becomes,
up.
yeah, it becomes a habit, and they are, even if when you try to make amends, it's going to be very, very difficult.
for them.
And beautiful as it is, these kids of nowadays, they are very smart. Very smart. You see a child of 2-year-old, and you see the way the child talks, and you're like, oh my God, did I just come up from you? I know. So what I'm actually saying is, our kids of now are way very smart. That means you can talk to them and they understand you.
Yes.
Okay, so start building that relationship from
Very
grassroots.
early. Yes.
You get, forget about how much money you want to make. Yes, money is beautiful. Wow, if we can be all be Dangotes and Otedolas, we'll be so excited. But if what you do is going to hinder your relationship
from your children.
with your children, then what are you working for? You get, some parents will tell you, I'm doing this for my kids, I'm trying to make sure they have the best life, and while you're making them lose the best moments of their life, which is meant to be with you.
Yeah.
You get, so you're meant to be part of the moment they are expected to cherish.
Not just to chase money.
That's what it is.
Money is good, of course.
Right.
Children need money for basic things, but then that really. Communication, I think. When there is that communication, your availability as a parent, or the parent that just travels. Even when you travel, thank God for smartphones now, you can actually keep in touch, text them, call them. Once in a while, take them out and get to know them better, because your children are growing and they pick up things from everywhere, so be able to communicate with them constantly. That helps. Talking to them, being into their lives,
Yeah, and even also trying to keep them. I just like Africans. Whatever has kept us. Yes, if we have to compare ourselves with the whites, they're smart. They're doing very beautiful things. They're intelligent. Yeah, we're also smart.
Yeah. So
but what has kept us on afloat is the fact that we have the right means of correction. That's what has kept you. That right now, as a child, you can't misbehave. I'm going to tell your mom, I will go report you to the police. No, you wouldn't do that. You just wouldn't dare. You have done wrong. You have to be punished. Which I feel, okay, some level of correction should actually be adjusted, because these are what keeps us on our toes. The thought of, oh, mom might spank me if I do this. Okay, I think I'll just not do it. I can't bear to. My mom's hand is something else. You get. So these are some of the things that's kept us in check. That we are either scared, and our level of morality has not gone very terrible. But still, maybe we're on a journey. I said we're on a journey. Yeah. We're on a journey to that part.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
How do you help a child to always strike the right attitude?
Okay.
Well, as I said before, you lead by example. You know, as much as you want to talk to a child about certain things, you know, some habits, you know, don't fight, don't do this. How much of that do you follow as a person?
Okay.
You know, imagine a man who beats his wife in front of the children, telling a male son not to
Beat the sister.
yeah, not like a
That's
male child
really
not to
hard.
beat his sister. You
Of
know?
course, he's
Exactly.
looking at
He sees
you.
you do these things. I mean, many of these things that we even talk about outside, things that we even picked up at home. You know, when your parents are cursing, you know, using certain words like bastard to your child, are you a witch? Is it from the village? Are you this? Are you that? You know, these are things that you as a parent have to imbibe in yourself too. So if you want the child to actually drop some habits, you know, as much as you can, try yourself not to do these things in front of them. You know, try yourself to be a good example to them, so they can pick it up, you know, and also communication comes in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then for me, trying to see how we can help our kids get to that space they need to get to. Apart from communication, which is actually very paramount, like she said, we should learn to actually talk about these things much often and see how we can put some streamline some certain things as necessary as possible. Then also, it might be very frustrating. Trust me, it might be very frustrating when you feel you actually give some certain advice to a child and she's not adapting.
Following.
Yeah, she's not following. It can be very frustrating as a parent.
Yeah.
Trying to do this, and most of the time we realize that even some of our kids are not confident enough. They've lost some level of, that's where most of these things actually start, when you're not even confident to even look up to your peers and tell them, sorry, this is wrong.
Yeah.
I know, where you teach your child, teach them the right content, teach them what is right. As regards level of being contented with what you have, lots of us are not contented. We want to be where the next person is. We want to own what the other person has, even when I know I cannot afford it. I know families who don't even have 3 square meters, but you don't know. They wouldn't tell you. They won't come out and tell you I've not eaten.
Yeah.
They are contented. That is it. I don't have, for now. I don't have an iPhone. Sorry, I have a Techno. Oh girl.
Yeah.
But the iPhone that is on it's trending right now. I think I also want to wave mine and take the whole pictures, the selfie. But if I can't afford it, I'll make do with what we have.
Yeah.
But we still see, even in parents, there's still some of them who go out of their way. I've seen parents who are coming up, they're not even rich, they're not even up to the middle class, but they will do anything to be at, oh, I'm there.
Yeah,
They buy the, thank you. They will sell off everything just to get the things. And their kids are, they've not paid school fees. Yeah, they've not paid school fees. They are not giving them the right kind of things that the needs. They are not meeting the needs of this kid.
Necessities.
You get, so as you begin to grow, the child begins to follow that step, and you know what I said. Okay, I know it's do or die.
Like
you get, teach them to arrange their priorities. Let them learn. You cannot give in to everything your child wants.
Of course.
You can't give in. Yes, I don't have my daughter. I don't have my son right now. It's not available.
Yeah.
When it's available, she knows that, okay, yes, my dad actually has, and that's why he's doing this. Let them be able to say it. I know of a friend of mine then, when we were in school, what she does is she doesn't get money on a monthly basis steady. You get, but she will never call home to beg her dad. You know what she always says? I know my dad doesn't have. If he has, he would do it. Wow. You get what I'm trying to. She knows the father, because at the point the father would relate whatever phase he's getting into. These children, they are aware. Okay, I have a business deal I just did right now. These are challenges. Yes, I'm expecting this. This is what I'm doing right now.
More open, like, let them understand. Yeah.
So if you're open to me as a father, I will be open to you as a child.
Yes.
So we need to make them begin to arrange their priorities right. If you don't have, don't pamper your child to the point that if you don't have, you have to kill yourself. No.
Yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying. Parents should try their best to provide, you know.
Yeah, try.
As much as you want to be contented, do your best as a parent. I don't understand if my mom doesn't give me the best that I really want. But then I want to see her try. I want to see her go out
Make
there
that
and try to
effort.
make ends meet. Yeah, I don't
Not
want to
doing
see
anything
her
at all
my
is
painting
bad.
nails. And let me see you try. Let me see you work. And let me say to myself that yeah, she's really trying.
Yeah.
And when a child actually asks for something, like say a laptop now, and then parents will be like, "What are you using the laptop for?" You don't have the money.
It's different.
I don't have the
Okay,
money.
I know
you
you
have
know
to start talking about how bad that thing is.
It doesn't make
it's not
any
nice.
sense.
It's not nice.
Doesn't make
Let
sense.
them know. I mean, we can hear you. We understand. I don't have the money. Look at what I'm going through. That appeals to the child more than, hey, what are you using laptop for? Is it for your age?
Or then you can always even
Yeah.
make them get a certain grade in school before you can promise to give them
Yeah,
these things.
incentivize them.
yeah,
Incentives,
that's
like, you need to
awesome.
buy you
I'll
this.
do
Yeah,
this,
that
I'll do
works.
this.
That works. That's very good. It works.
And don't promise them what you can't get.
Or you cannot
Exactly.
get.
Always keep your promises.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Responsibility for his child's improper attitude or behavior. Who should? The father, the mother?
Okay. I said this at the beginning. First of all, it's your gifts. Being a child, children are gifts, youth are gifts, whatever. We're all gifts to our families, and first of all, we are under the ownership of our parents, and that's why we are their guardians. Quite alright, and that's why whatever we have to do, they are in authority over it. It's more like a different country, a different community. A family is more like a community or a different country, whereby the parents are the heads of the family, and you have to take a decision. They manage the home, they coordinate the affairs in the house. It's more like a small community. Okay, let me quickly throw this. I read something sometimes back, whereby someone was sharing an experience. You know, they do families don't even, not all families even have time to do family meetings and talk from time to time. Okay, what is right, what is wrong? So they do it every month. There is a meeting. They even go as far as they talk about the food. Are we all okay with the menu? Are we okay with the menu for this month? Oh, mommy, no, I think this food is not. Why don't we try this? They put it, they fixed it down.
Wow, that's good.
You see, you put it down.
I love that.
Yeah, you put it down. And the next thing they talk about, oh, the father can apologize. I'm sorry. Is there anything? Are you holding any grudge against anyone? Why? You express yourself. That one. There's no father, mother. Everybody has his right at that meeting to talk about it. So mom talked to me the other time like this, and I was trying to express myself. They go out there to just voice out why they feel, how they feel, why they feel, and they all agree. They come to an agreement and say, okay, you know what, this is what we've adjourned this meeting, and this is the resolve we generated from this meeting. So they do this monthly.
Wow.
Now it starts from the home. They take this child out. The child goes out there and he can make his own right decision. He's not influenced.
Yes.
He has room to air his own voice, say how he feels about anything. That is how it is built. So the next month they review how well from what we agreed we were going to do last time, how effective was it. So first of all, it is the sole responsibility of the parents to take the total blame.
So not just the mother?
No, parents. No mother, no father, both. Except there's a condition to it, except when one is found wanting. Whereby the mother is always claiming, I'm busy, I need to party all week, I have 101 there. There's some women like that. Every weekend they have to go register their name in an O1 bed. Yeah, that's how it
Yeah,
is.
it's true.
Yeah,
it's
you
true.
get.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
except when one is found
Wanting.
wanting, you get. But it should not be in the notice of where, if you have to talk about it, please go to your room and talk about it as parents, father, mother. Not where you start talking, the child is there, blah blah and all that. It actually creates some, you that you're even right might feel, should feel you're same as the mother, because there's nothing like having peace in your own home and all that. So they should learn to dialogue with this thing. And let me take us back again to when I say the house is more like a different community.
Yes.
As an executive in an organization, you cannot come out and counter your co-executive in public. It's not right.
Exactly.
Yeah, you have to go indoors, talk about these things indoors. I know. So whatever, that's parents, 30, I will give them a 30 to 40% share of the blame. Now the next people I will look at is the society. I've talked about it. Bringing up a child is not just a duty, because if you look at it, children spend more time in school. Even when you're in a university, you spend more time even in school. I can decide not to come back home and say, Mom, I have something I need to do in school, and I'm there. You spend more time there. That means even the teachers, people you actually have a relationship with, that's what we talk about influence. So the influence is not just from the home, it also extends outside
yes.
the home as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
So what are the things you would suggest the society to do in this issue of youthful exuberance?
Well,
You have to start
you
from
know,
the social
now they talk
media.
about intrusion of privacy. You know, you can't just walk up to anybody, you know, and say don't do this and don't do that. But yeah, the society in itself should be able to, you know, encourage those who are doing the right thing. You know, encourage those who are doing the right thing. Also, there should be more programs, you know, awareness in the society, because it's a different thing when you know what you're doing is wrong. Within a society where some people who are born in this era don't see the wrong that we see as wrong. You know, so
Yes,
that awareness should
is
be
the
there.
norm.
Yeah, you know, so that awareness should be there, you know, like seminars, and also there should be an encouragement for people doing, like now, you know, when we talk about all these educational programs, and they don't really get that much sponsors, small things that will actually help a child to become better, all this ingenuity, helping them to build their creativity. No, we need
yes.
more sponsors for programs like that. We need people to encourage children like that, you know, scholarships for academic purposes and other kind of purposes and vocational stuff. We need people that actually help the child to, you know, find his passion and actually help him to build it. So there should be more encouragement on the part of the society for children like that. More encouragement, more support, you know, more outreaches and scholarships and, you know, privileges.
Well,
in that
for
regard.
me, I'm so tired of seminars. Like, seminars are on the rise. It's just like the air you breathe. You walk up
Yeah.
seminars. Oh, you're choking me right now.
It's boring.
Yeah, it's not being boring. We talk too much. That's what it is. We talk. That's why action doesn't work. Let me see. Yeah, like talk about encouraging. If I see you encourage someone for doing something good, imagine someone who is publicized, maybe in the media and the TV, get sponsorship abroad for just doing one good thing. Oh Jesus, I will
Every
strive.
kid who wants to go.
I will strive to do what is right. Yeah, that's what we're talking. That's what we're still. The major thing is you need to be contented.
You just realize that you only see what people let you see on social media.
That is it.
You don't see me when I'm striving and suffering. I want you to see it, you know. So just put a limit on yourself to how much you want these things to influence you as a person.
So
and of course, you can decide who you want to follow on social media. You don't have to follow everybody that is suggested to you. You know? If you maybe like say you're using social media for businesses, like say clothing lines, you know, you follow the top clothing line clients, you know, tailors, things that actually actually use these things to your advantage, but it's just still boils down to you to decide how well you want to use it.
Please, and please, the society should please slow it down, the pressure. Like, there's a standard already. Oh, you're so age, you're not married. What is the problem? Oh, you don't even have a car. See your mates. Yeah. See your mates have a car. All these things are actually, please slow it down. We don't have the same timeline. We're all trying now. We cannot all be rich. We cannot all wear the best kind of clothes. Please slow it down. Right. Let everybody live the life they want to live. Stop putting some level of standard. You have to get to this age. You have to have achieved this. It's a cycle. And that's why we're where we are. It's a cycle. You see, from school, you're in primary school, the next thing you must be in the university. No, in the secondary school. From there, you have to be in university. Then maybe you feel immediately, not even 1 year after. Not even 1 year after. You have to get married as a woman. You have to get married. And when you get married, you don't have a child. What's the problem? So please, is there any problem? Should you see a doctor? Yeah, there's no standard to these things. It's not until you follow this route that you get to a greater height. It's not. No. There are people who didn't follow this route, but they did their stuff legitimately, but they are doing well. Well, very well. It's not everyone that will go to school. Take it or leave it. It's not everyone who comes out with a first class today that will be rich. Take it or leave it. It's just that is life. And also, I think they should just take it down. And it's the pressure from the society. Apart from, we don't even get it from the house anymore. The family. There's some families, their parents don't have issues. When you now step out, just like when you come out into the fire, just like leaving the AC.
Your friends are using this, are using that. That exuberance comes and that enthusiasm to have what they want to have and all this stuff.
That's the thing.
I only hope for a better society.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Right.
This was a really great section with you ladies.
All right.
At this junction, I think we've come to the end of this program on ATV Africa. I had a wonderful moment with you too. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share on ATV Africa. Thank you. See you next time.